What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Retro Therapy, where we usually talk about video games, mental health issues, and everything associated with that. And today we just got a big topic we're going to talk about. Basically how the break from YouTube affected me, physically, mentally, and, what it all did for my channel and everything. And also just why I did it in the first place. So a lot of we talk, about everything associated with video games, whether it be, collection addiction, hiding from reality because we don't like to face it, so we use video games as our like an outlook and stuff like that. But yeah, so as a lot of you know, here about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, depending on when this episode comes out, I decided to take a break from YouTube. There was a lot of speculation on why this happened, and some people, were like, oh, he relapsed, because a lot of you know that I've celebrated over 10 years of sobriety. They thought maybe I relapsed and I was just trying to fix stuff, or, that I was having personal issues at home and stuff like that. But in reality, what it was I had been going hard on YouTube for 5 years, guys. Yes, my channel's not very big considering the amount of time and effort I put into it, but that just shows you right there how hard and dedicated I keep going, even though I wasn't consistently building anymore, building a huge channel. So when the break came, it was hard. I've talked to some people about this because it was just like, I kind of didn't want to do it because my channel was on the uprise. I was getting, making money each month for my videos because of all the ads that people were, and my subscriber count / watch time was climbing like crazy. My channel almost felt like it was in its prime, if you would say so. So it was really hard for me to really take a step back then. But there was just so much going on in my life at the time. As a lot of you guys know, I really focus on making sure I reply to every comment. I make sure that I interact with each and every one of you, and I make sure I do all this stuff on the channel. So whenever you guys would comment, share, or do anything, I would try and focus on making sure that I commented or replied right back to you. So what does this mean? This means that I was taking many minutes out of my days, almost trying to instantly reply back. And over time, this basically made me start missing out on some parts in life. I was too busy trying to worry about, replying to the next comment, to answer the next question, to make sure that I was watching everybody else's content, so that way, I could spread the wealth. And it was taking up all my time, guys. YouTube wasn't supposed to be a job. It was supposed to be for fun. And after a while, it almost felt like it wasn't fun anymore. And so with my oldest son graduating high school, my youngest son, basically finishing up kindergarten, and all this other stuff going on, I was like, it was time to take a break from making videos. Because as a lot of you guys know, I was putting out, 2, 3, 4, 4 videos a week. And as little editing as I do, that was taking a lot of effort because I had to come up with ideas. I had to sit here and record it, and I had to edit that. Then I had to make sure that I made a decent thumbnail, and so on and so forth. And some of you will notice today that usually in my podcast I have videos of of me doing it. Instead today I'm solely doing it with audio only, and I thought it'd just be easier and better that way. I'm sure all you'll be hearing the squeaks and stuff from my chair, but that's just how it goes. So what happened in the last 60 to 90 days that I took a break? Well, like I said, at first it was very awkward. I felt like I still needed to do stuff. I felt like I still needed to make videos. I needed comments and stuff like that. But I came up with a plan for the future, what I was going to do. And I sat in the shadows and I watched everybody's videos. I might not have commented on them, but I sat in the shadows and watched everybody's videos. And I also just started to try to think about, in the future, what could I do to make this channel better? One of the obvious big things I know was I need to take a break from putting videos out. So sometimes I would almost saturate my own market by putting way too many videos in at once. Like I said, sometimes 3 to 4 videos a week I'd sometimes put up there. And this is just a big, people sometimes would not want to watch them as much because they were seeing them come out too fast. So I wanted to try and set up a schedule. I don't like setting up schedules. So just let me say that first. I don't like setting up schedules. But I thought maybe, doing something like a Monday and Thursday routine where I will try and craft a few videos here and there and then just release them on Monday and Thursdays. Because, yeah, like I said, I think I was addicted to making content. And like I said, when I first started, this is why this rule is coming into play, because when I first started on this break, it was so awkward not having stuff to do. You know what I mean? And I was just so addicted to seeing a good topic pop up, thinking I had to make a video about it, and then uploading it, and then just sitting there and hoping that the views come in. So when I was starting to get these video ideas, it was hard not to just jump right on here and start doing it, especially when I saw Xbox 360 videos taking off. And I'm a huge Xbox 360 fan. And I was like, I can make a ton of videos about this stuff. And they're getting views. Like, they're just like when DK Oldies videos first started coming out, they were getting an insane amount of views, and you didn't even have to do much to do it. So I was like, I'm going to do that. But I was on my break, and I made a promise to my wife and my family that I was going to take some time off and focus on being present for everything else. So that's one of the main things I wanted to do when I first started to come back was, 2 to 3 videos, or at most probably 2 videos a week. And that way, too, I can kind of build a backlog of videos, too, guys. That way, if I get too busy and I can't make a video, I have one spare. A couple spares. And then another, rule was going to be I was not going to reply to comments instantly anymore. I'm going to set aside an hour or two, maybe more a week, depending on what free time I have. And maybe sometimes at work if I get some time opening up. But that'll be the time that I actually reply to comments. Because I was just, like I said, I was going too insane on it. I was commenting too fast and too, going on. And so that's what I mean. I think I'm gonna back off on. I'm gonna reply to every comment. So I just want to emphasize that that's what's gonna happen. But okay. So we went over the 1 to 2 videos a week, taking maybe an hour or two each week to make sure that I reply to comments. Because luckily I don't have that huge a channel, so I don't have to worry about it. I am gonna still stream live. I think when I'm on my night shift rotation at work. I've been saying that I want to play through all the Metal Gear Solid games in chronological order. I finally got a PSP emulator set up and everything, so I will be able to start streaming the next one in the saga because I beat Snake Eater live on my channel. So next I can do the PSP version. And yeah, guys, so what all happened during the break? I won't go into too many details about what was going on, but I just found that YouTube and stuff was taking me away from some things I enjoyed in life. And that's not to say, that it took me away from my family and stuff like that, but it took away from me focusing on a lot, like physically. There was nights that I would want to go to the gym, I'd want to work out and stuff like that, but I felt obligated to have to make content. So I would go to the gym, I would not work out that hard, I would just kind of go through the motions and then come home and just so I could try to record and edit 3 videos at night. And it was cutting into my gaming time, guys. So the one thing I've been loving about, like I said, this streaming live Metal Gear Solid goal that I had for this channel was that I was actually sitting around and playing games. And when I played through Snake Eater, I absolutely loved actually being able to sit down and play it. And it's just so on this 2-month break, it was amazing to just sit down and play video games. I was playing through, I think my favorite one that I played through while I was on my break was Midnight Suns. And the ability to sit down for a couple hours on end, and especially when I was getting hooked on the game, and just sitting there and playing through it was amazing, guys. Like, some people don't understand sometimes when you don't have any obligations in the world, you don't have anything going on, how great it is to just sit down and play games. So, yeah, like I said, I sit down, I put the headphones on, I turn on all the gaming lights, and I just sit there and simply enjoy playing. And even like right now, I know obviously I don't have the camera hooked up and stuff you can't see, but off to the side I have my PS5 up and running. I got Little Hope, that's part of that Dark Pictures anthology, ready to go. So when I'm done, recording this, I can go over there and start playing, guys. And yeah, it was just like, so physically and wanting to play games, but the mental break was probably the best thing, part of this. Now, I know I was sitting there, like I said earlier, I was actually taking time here and there for breaks, but I was also, trying to come up with new ideas for videos coming up. And so, thanks to a few buddies that recommended Trello in the past, I was able to jot down almost 20 different kinds of video topic ideas. So I have this backlog, this great ideas coming up for videos that I think you guys will all enjoy. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about channels and stuff down the road too. Now, not necessarily hating on channels, but just some fun stuff. Like I had this one video idea, so I never really watched Phoenix Resale. I've kind of known a little bit about what's going on, but I never really sat down and watched a lot of his stuff. And I thought it'd be a great idea to basically binge through some episodes of his, some videos of his, and then get on here and talk about it. And I think I want to start doing that with a few other channels that I don't really know too much about. And so that way you guys can get my honest opinion on it and stuff like that. And I also would like to do a video similar to this about Heck and Steve and a few others down the road, because I just feel like that's an opinion that needs to get out. So there's a lot of, like channels like Heck and Steve. It's comedy based. It seems like he's just being like a dick sometimes, but it's comedy based. He's said in the past that it's not, most of it's not real. It's just for fun, and people don't understand that. So I think that'd be a good thing to talk about in the past, or talk about in the future. Sorry. But I just have all these different kind of ideas that I want to start doing. And one huge thing, I mentioned it earlier when I was talking here, that I don't spend much time editing. I'm a pretty simple editor, pretty basic intro, a few words here and there, maybe the occasional movie clip, and then a little outro thing. But I wanted to try and do a little bit more editing coming up to try and make videos pop more, to be more out there. Now, needless to say that this is not going to be like as crazy as some other YouTube channels, like the zooming in and the crazy transitions and stuff like that, because I feel like my audience itself has loved more of these kind of videos where I just sit down, I just chill, and we talk about games and what's going on in the world and mental health stuff. I feel like if I go too far the other way, I'm going to go against my principles for this channel, where I was trying to just end up being more raw and honest about stuff. So I just feel like if I start dazzling people by doing too much of that other stuff, it really is just going to ruin what we're here for. I don't really want to do that, because then it's like I said, you long time watchers, listeners, or whatever you guys, however you get these videos and podcast stuff, I think it'll be really throw you guys off if I totally change the style too much. So that's to say that I'm not going to start putting in, more clips, or try my best to edit, and make it more entertaining. I would want to do more skits and stuff is kind of what I want to do too. So I might have to try and put on that acting hat or acting cap or whatever and just see how that runs. I'm always so awkward, I feel like, when it comes to stuff like that, because I know it sometimes makes great videos. People enjoy them, and if they're funny, people love them and stuff. But I also feel like, too, sometimes if you force them with that, it just doesn't feel right. But we'll see how it goes. And one other huge thing is going to be doing more with the Super Retro Force. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with them, specifically if you just listen to my podcast sections, I am part of a team that's been putting, videos out together that they don't like to say collabs. We don't like to say that because it's not technically us collabing. It's just us as a team making projects, and that's how we do it. Collab just seems like the wrong kind of word for what we do, even though some of you probably say that. But we've been really focusing on the YouTube channel, our secondary channel that we all do together. Usually top list, like our top favorite games, top favorite PS2 games. Like recently there was one release that was our favorite game from now dead developers, which was talking about, like Acclaim and stuff like that, where they're our favorite games from those companies that are no longer here. And just stuff like that. And I'm very excited to get back on YouTube so I can start making more content with those guys, because it's such a blast to do that stuff. And gosh, I don't even know, guys. This is what's been awkward about this, is not being able to make content for a while. Is I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I guess that's the raw and honest part about this. So we are about 16 minutes in. What else did we want to talk about? So I think I usually only like to make these about 20 to 25 minutes long, because that's usually, I got a lot of guys that tell me that they like to listen to this on their way to work or while they're sitting in traffic. So let's get this a couple more minutes in. I honestly want to finish this with just a thank you to everybody that's supported this channel through this break. I had a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram and stuff, asking how I was doing, telling me that they miss my content, that they miss me personally, and that was very, very overwhelming, guys. There was times that, if I'm to be honest, that I kind of was almost in tears because of how great this community was, and how, even though this was something that was very hard for me, everybody reached out. A lot of people, even even asking if I needed them to pray for me. So as a lot of you know, that I became more faith-driven lately. I've reached out more spiritually and, found a God in my understanding. And if you guys don't like that kind of stuff, it's whatever. But I'm just letting you guys know that, that was a big part of what I found on my break, was trying to reconnect with God and stuff like that. And, Pick and Preacher, the Rushmore Show, and those guys reached out to me a lot, asking if I need prayers and stuff like that. So it felt good, guys. I honestly and like I said, the overwhelming support that when I made the last video, the done video, the overwhelming support I got. And even, some people that, if I felt bad because some people were sad because they were going to miss me. And I tried to just tell everybody, don't worry, I will be back. And like I said, I wasn't lying. I'm back, But it was just kind of also too, God, it's just like, these people are, I don't know. It's just, I just want to say thank you to everybody that was just so supportive and stuff like that. And, there's a lot of haters out there too. Every channel's got them. There's some people that were just, one channel specifically that was just being dumb about it, but we won't get into that. So, but thank you to everybody specifically that said, checked in on me and was still commenting on my videos, and even some of the new people to the channel. I couldn't believe it. I was making videos, and I was still getting, a decent amount of new people to the channel. So if you're new to the channel and you're listening to this podcast for the first time, and this is your first episode, make sure you comment below and let me know. And obviously, if you've been here for a while, and you want to comment below too, that I don't know, just say you're still here, guys. Just say what's up, Iowa. I love reading that stuff. And I'm happy to be back. I know this has probably been one of my worst episodes for this retro therapy, because I've just been talking about nonsense and blabbering and going on for almost 20 minutes now. But I'm happy to be back. Obviously, this will probably be released after a couple videos. I plan on doing another one here soon that will talk about an actual video long form one about my return. That one is probably going to be released on June 1st. So you might be hearing this one from the future of that, before that one. But I love you guys, and that's what I have to say, is basically I just love you guys, and I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much once again for your support. I'm hoping down the road to start having some people on this podcast as guests. We're going to talk about video games, mental health. That's the main force behind this. I've actually been talking to a buddy on Instagram here, and pretty soon, hopefully, we can get together to do an episode talking about depression and video games, and how they greet each other, how they work with each other, the goods, the bads, and stuff like that. And I think that'd be a very great episode, and I can't wait to have him on here, hopefully, and get that recorded. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, stay retro, my friends, and it's good to be back. Make sure you guys have a great day, a great week, a great month. If there's something you've been wanting to do, go freaking do it right now. Don't stop yourself. If there's been something important, some call you've been waiting, calling somebody that you've been wanting to talk to, but you just keep putting it off, or that project, just count to 3 and do it, guys. Have a good one.
Super Retro Force.